2 days after his Purulia visit, Prime Minister Modi is all set to storm Mamta's turf again. He's scheduled to address another rally in Kharagpur at about 11 a.m. Tweeting about his visit, the Prime Minister said his focus is going to be on elaborating BJP's development agenda for Bengal. Ahead of his visit, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee took on Prime Minister Modi while addressing a rally in Purulia yesterday. She accused the Prime Minister of stealing her Paribartan slogan, calling him copycat. Now, with Prime Minister returning to battleground Bengal, it is going to be rather very interesting to see whether Didi remarks are going to be countered with Paribartan roars yet again.
अब ये तय हो गया है 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे 2 मई दीदी 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे আসল পরিবর্তন আছে
পরিবর্তন তো মমতা ব্যানার্জির স্লোগান তুমি মমতা ব্যানার্জিকে টুকলি করছো কেন নিজের কিছু বিদ্যা বুদ্ধি আছে তো দাও বাবা কিছু ব্রেন থেকে বের করো আমরা তো পরিবর্তন তোমাদের করব নেক্সট দিল্লিতে বাংলায় জিতলেই দিল্লি ঝাঁপাবো এবং বিজেপিকে কাঁপাবো তাই ওদের এত রাগ আমার উপর মনে রাখবেন ওরা দেখছে বাংলায় জিতে গেলেই মমতা আমাদের খুব বিপদ
খেলা হবে চাই না বিজেপিকে বিদায় দাও
ये खेल खत्म होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए दीदी ये आवाज सुनिए ये शंखनाद सुनिए अब हर तरफ से एक ही आवाज है टीएमसी का खेला शेष टीएमसी का खेला शेष खेला खत्म अब ये तय हो गया है 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे 2 मई दीदी जाच्छे 2 मई दीदी যাচ্ছে আসল পরিবর্তন আছে
কোনো মায়া নেই এদের কোনো দয়া নেই এদের এরা হচ্ছে স্বৈরাচারী দুরাচারী রাবণের দল এরা শুধু গিলতে এসছে দুর্নীতি করতে এসছে
It is BJP versus BJP in Bengal as the Saffron Party is facing a major backlash from its own party workers over the candidates list. The local BJP workers staged protests at multiple locations over tickets that are being given away to turncoats. Here's the report.
Tires set on fire. Posters torn down. Party office vandalized. It's BJP versus BJP in battleground Bengal. The party workers are up in arms against their own leadership. With just a week left for phase 1 polling, the BJP is facing massive outcry over ticket distribution.
পার্থসারথী চ্যাটার্জি আজকে ক্যান্ডিডেট হয়েছে তিনি 1 মাস 10 দিন আগে আমাদের ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টিতে যোগদান দিয়েছে সে ক্যান্ডিডেট হয়েছে আমরা মেনে নিতে পারছি না কিছুদিন আগেও আমাদের কর্মীদের কেস দিয়েছে ততক্ষণ ক্যান্ডিডেট না ঠিক করে দিচ্ছে আমরা আজকে জেলা পার্টি অফিসে তালা মেরে অবস্থান বিক্ষোভে বসছি যতক্ষণ আমাদের এই ক্যান্ডিডেট না হচ্ছে আমরা এই অবস্থান বিক্ষোভ চালিয়ে যাব
The workers want their loyal partymen to get election tickets instead of turncoats. If their demands are not met, the workers have threatened to field their own candidates against the party.
এই কারণেই মানব না জিতেন তিওয়ারি যখন আগে টিএমসির বিধায়ক ছিলেন আমাদের বিজেপি কর্মীদের উপর অনেক অত্যাচার করেছে দল যদি দেয় সেটা দলের ব্যাপার আমরা মোট কথা মানছি না এখন ব্যাস
The official BJP candidates facing a backlash of workers include Samik Bhattacharya from Rajarhat Gopalpur seat, Jitendra Tiwari from Pandabeshwar constituency, Bijon Mukherjee from Raniganj, Diptenshu Chaudhary from Durgapur East and Arindam Bhattacharjee from Shantipur. Caught off guard, the BJP leadership is treading cautiously.
So far, there has not been any kind of communication from the BJP local leadership or the senior leadership of the BJP where these people who have been protesting claim that as long as the list is not changed, their protest will continue ahead of the 2021 elections in West Bengal. With camera person Santosh Prasad, this is Suryakumar Yadav for India Today, Kolkata.
The National Investigation Agency has intensified its probe into Ambani bomb scare case. The NIA team has taken up suspended cop Sachin Vaze to the crime spot near Mukesh Ambani's residence Antilia. The tainted cop was asked to walk on the spot to recreate the scene. The NIA suspects that it was Vaze clad in a kurta walking in the CCTV footage. Meanwhile, the NIA is likely to take over the case of Mansukh Hiren's murder case as well. Sources have told India Today that the murder conspiracy is linked to the gelatin that was found in the Scorpio near Ambani residence. Mansukh Hiren was allegedly the owner of explosive-laden Scorpio. He was reportedly picked up by the ATS for investigation and later deposed before the CIU, of which Sachin Vaze was a member. He went missing on 4th of March and his body was found a day later. With the Ambani bomb scare case getting murkier by the day, the Mahavikas Aghadi government is now facing the heat. The Maharashtra BJP, led by former Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, has been unsparing in his attacks, claiming that the arrested cop Sachin Vaze is just a pawn in a larger conspiracy. Here's a look.
The Ambani bomb threat probe is getting murkier by the day, as the NIA pulls out more and more evidence to nail Sachin Vaze, a tainted policeman who was reinstated by the Shiv Sena-led government. The powers that Vaze wielded, despite being only an assistant inspector, has raised many questions. Former BJP Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has been leading the charge, saying Vaze was only a pawn in a larger conspiracy.
इस मामले में ये जो सारा घटनाक्रम है ये अकेले सचिन वाजे नहीं कर सकते और इसलिए इसमें कौन कौन है इसका भी विचार कि निश्चित रूप से किया जाना चाहिए। कुल मिलाकर मुझे ये दिखाई पड़ता है कि फेलियर ऑफ पुलिस नहीं है, ये फेलियर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है।
The Shiv Sena, which has been opposing the NIA probe, is on the back foot. The Vaze affair has clearly embarrassed the state government. The belligerent stand taken has now mellowed.
पुलिस का ये जो दुरुपयोग हुआ है उसको आप रिपीट नहीं करेंगे, इतना तो आप आश्वासन दे सकते हैं।
कल हमारे पुलिस कमिश्नर ने उसका वचन दिया है कि जो गलती इस बार हुई है हमारे लोगों ने की है वो वापस नहीं होगी।
Ally NCP is not pleased about this, and Sharad Pawar has been in the thick of the damage control. On Friday, State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh briefed Pawar on the developments. With the BJP snapping at its heels, the Aghadi government is fighting with its back to the wall, particularly since the case involves a threat made to the country's richest man. Bureau Report, India Today.
Maharashtra reported more than 25,000 cases for the second consecutive day. The state reported 25,681 cases and 70 deaths on Friday, compelling Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray to warn the citizens that the state might go into a lockdown due to the spike in the cases. Mumbai alone has recorded 3,062 cases. I'm going to repeat, 3,062 cases in Mumbai alone. Pune 2,872, Nagpur 2,617, Nashik 939 cases on Friday. The Maharashtra government has introduced new guidelines to contain the cases. The state government has ordered all theatres and auditoriums to have only 50% capacity and not to be used for any religious, social, political or cultural gatherings. The government has ordered private offices to function at only 50% capacity. Time now for our COVID segment, Good, Bad and Ugly. Here's a report.
Here is the good news of the day when it comes to the vaccination drive in the country. The focus now is going to shift for vaccination to rural India, which has by far in the second phase of vaccination that started on the 1st of March, received just about 13% of the total vaccinations. The Prime Minister said that we must stop the infection from spreading to 2-tier and 3-tier cities and eventually rural India. There is reluctance to take the vaccine and also there is a lot of hesitancy in rural India, and hence the state governments need to have a targeted approach in rural India vis-a-vis vaccine delivery. Primary healthcare centers will now be strengthened. The effort is going to be to get the people to the primary healthcare centers for the vaccination drive and also to organize camps, cohorts to get more and more people to get this shot against COVID-19. The bad news of the day is from the state of Maharashtra. For 2 days in a row now, the state is reporting more than 26,000 cases of this infection. Mumbai alone has reported more than 3,000 cases on Friday. There is a lot of concern when it comes to the testing in the state of Maharashtra. Questions have been raised about also vaccine utilization, given the fact that the centre says that of the 54 lakh doses given to Maharashtra, only 23 lakh doses have been utilized. Uddhav Thackeray, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, has said that lockdown is certainly an option that the state government will look at if required.
This is the ugly side to COVID-19. In a first of its case, after the DGCA had issued a notice that passengers not wearing a mask will be treated as unruly. Alliance Air, state-owned airlines, has apprehended 4 passengers who refused to wear a mask on board a flight from Jammu to Delhi. Sources in the flight tell us that passengers were told by the flight attendants to repeatedly wear their masks and keep them on. Upon not complying, the staff then handed over these 4 passengers to the security agencies upon landing. They have not just put their lives at risk, but also of those passengers who were seated beside them. And these are the guidelines that have been put forward by the DGCA to curtail the spread of COVID-19.
It's a big boost to Indo-US ties as key Biden aide is on a 3-day visit to India. US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin met Prime Minister Modi and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. Austin will meet Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and Union External Affairs Minister Jaishankar today. Both the leaders are expected to hold talks on boosting bilateral ties and strengthen presence in Indo-Pacific region. The meeting is also expected to be held to counter the growing influence of an aggression of China. The US Defense Secretary has said that China presents a threat as it is rapidly advancing. Adding further, Austin said that there was need to enhance capabilities to ensure a credible deterrence to China. One opportunity was all that Suryakumar was looking for, and when it finally came, the Mumbai batsman made a full use of it. He batted like a seasoned pro in the must-win game for India against England and may have ensured that he's here to stay in the big league. Take a look.
Despite a great run in the IPL, Suryakumar Yadav didn't find a place in the white ball squads against Australia. That night in October, he was left gutted.
Wonderful touch and dexterity.
4 months later, Suryakumar Yadav finally got his maiden national call-up for a 5-match T20 series against England. He got his India cap after a game, but to showcase his prowess with the bat, he had to wait for another couple of games. It was a must-win game for India and Virat gave his number 3 spot to Suryakumar.
That is something which he does really well.
The right-hander announced his arrival with a first ball 6 of Archer and there was no looking back. Surya played with a great deal of confidence in his first international appearance and set the tone for India's emphatic victory.
Wow,
I would like to mention Surya's innings. I think playing at this level with top quality bowlers who bowl at pace, it's not easy to just walk in at 3 in your first game and start off like that. Firstly, it was outstanding. We all were quite stunned with that start, and he completely stamped his authority from ball 1, and then the bowlers were under pressure throughout. The way he played the leggy as well and just maneuvered the bowlers beautifully, I think.
Talent, as they say, is nothing without opportunity, and Surya's opportunity has finally come, and he hasn't wasted any time to make it count. Sports Bureau, India Today.
In Instagram's next big quest for domination across age groups, owner Facebook may soon launch Instagram for kids who are under the age of 13. The news is coming a day after photo-sharing app ramped up its features to protect the young users from prying eyes of the adults on the app. Here's a look.
It's one of the world's most popular social media apps, one that has spawned a global culture, community, and its very own vibe. Millions take to Instagram every minute to share themselves with the world. And now, in Instagram's next big quest for domination across age groups, owner Facebook may soon launch Instagram for kids under the age of 13. The news comes a day after the photo-sharing app ramped up its features to protect young users from the prying eyes of adults on the app. You're probably wondering, isn't Instagram already used by kids in their millions? So what's the big deal here? Well, currently, officially at least, only users above the age of 13 are allowed to use Instagram. The company is aware that people lie while filling up their details, but now Instagram could be using artificial intelligence to determine the correct age of the user. But that's where the new kid-friendly Instagram plan comes in. It's still under wraps, but industry insiders say Instagram is crafting a trimmed-down version of its app which can be used only by children below 13. The standard version of Instagram has already introduced new policies intended to make it difficult for adult users to get in touch with a young user. Several prompts have also been introduced to notify young users about the suspicious behavior of adults. These safeguards are likely to be even stronger in any new app in the works. Of course, several questions still remain. Could Instagram, for instance, bring young children into the pout and pose culture? Will safeguards be enough to really protect them? Can artificial intelligence really keep young kids out of adult Instagram? And are kids below 13 simply too young for social media? While Facebook hasn't explicitly mentioned its plans on a new app, such a move would very much be in keeping with their quest not to cede an inch of ground, no matter who or how young. With Ankita Chakravarti in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.